my grandfather, and I just want you to tell me your age and the year you were and your birthday.
70 years old, March 11th, 1924.
Okay, and you were born where?
In Catawba County, at home.
At home. Who delivered you?
I don't know. Herman, Dr. Herman, I think it was, old Dr. Herman.
Oh, really? So they come out to the house and do all that?
They used to come out and, when you get sick, they come out to the house.
Really?
Yeah.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I got 3 brothers, no sisters.
Are they all still living?
Yeah, sure are. All of them still live.
And who are your parents?
Mr. and Mrs. Herbert Eugene Lale.
What did your parents do?
My daddy worked on the railroad and mother was a housewife and they farmed.
And what was your childhood like?
Well, I worked in when I got big enough, I had to work in the field and go to school.
What was school like?
You had to walk to school.
How far? How many miles? Without shoes.
About half a mile, I guess it was.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Rain or shine.
Well, that would be bad. How far did you get in school? I mean, did they have like 12th grade and like graduate and everything?
Well, they didn't have it to, I went through the 10th. Then next year they had it to 12th, so I did the 10th.
Are you doing it well? You can come on in, Minnie. So you quit in the 10th grade?
Yeah, got married.
You got me. Well, before I go into that, what kind of games did you play? I mean, did you get along with your brothers?
Yeah, we fought all the time.
I mean, but what did you do? I mean, did you have TV? I don't even know if you had TV.
Never did have no TV.
What did you do?
We played ball and baseball, stuff like that in the yard.
Well,
Marble.
Well, this is stupid. Did you have electricity?
Not when I was real young. We got it after I remember getting electricity.
Really?
But we had the first telephone in that area.
But you didn't have anybody call you if they didn't have a telephone, did you?
Well, they called my daddy into work, stuff like that, when he had to go to work. Then we got calls from my aunt. She lived in California.
Man, that's pretty neat. Well,
Everybody in the community used that phone.
So did you just read a lot, or did you read?
Some, but mostly we'd get out and play. We wasn't working in the field. We had to work in the field a lot.
So you got
Cotton. Yeah, cotton was what we got our clothes with. We'd sell our cotton to get the clothes. Got wheat, take it to the mill, grind it for a flour.
Did you have cars at all? Did anybody have a car?
Yeah. My daddy had a T-model Ford.
Could you drive it?
I couldn't.
Oh.
I wasn't old enough.
Oh, you had to be a certain age to drive?
Yeah.
Did they have policemen?
Sure did.
Really?
On motorcycles.
So how did you get around? I mean, you just walked everywhere?
Yes, I even went to, when I was taking instruction to join the church, I had to walk 2.5 miles there and 2.5 miles back, rain or shine.
Was it this church up here?
Right.
Really? I've been here for a long time. So, so you got married when you left the 10th grade. So how did you meet Nanny?
Met her at school.
Did you? How old was she when y'all got married?
She 15.
Oh my gosh. How old were you?
I was 18.
Man, that was. Did her parents care?
She was almost 16.
So, I mean, her parents said it was okay for her to
Yeah.
get married? So that's pretty neat. So, does this bother you? Okay. These are things I've never really asked about. I mean, how big was her family? What kind of family did she come from?
She had let's see, she had 3 brothers, 2 sisters. And when their oldest brother died when she was young.
So then, so what?
One disappear.
What?
Didn't one disappear? Run
No,
away
that
or
was
something?
her uncle.
Uncle, sorry. Okay.
He got mad and left.
Got mad at that? Why?
Because he wouldn't let me in to see her brother. And he wasn't supposed to nobody go in.
Going where?
In to see him. When he was time.
Why couldn't you go and see him?
I don't know. Doctor said no.
What was he dying?
I don't know that.
Oh. So he just left. Did they ever find him?
His sister, her daddy's sister thought she found him in California. He had a sister in California.
So what was it like when you first got married? I mean, like where did you live and what kind of stuff did you do?
We lived with my mother and father and was taking care of them.
Oh, really? So,
Took care of them till they died.
so how old were they when you got married?
I don't know, I had to figure way
Oh,
back.
that's okay. I mean, were they like pretty old? I mean,
Not too old.
so, how old were y'all when y'all had, Mama?
Well, let's see. About 21, I guess.
So Nanny would have been about 18. Wow, y'all waited a long time. I mean, that's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Mama came and changed everything.
And she was the first granddaughter that my parents had.
Really? Are you the oldest of the 3 boys? Or you were,
No, I'm the youngest.
really? And you were the first to have kids?
No, the first to have girls.
Oh, that's
The rest
right.
of them boys.
Boys. That's right. You were the first to have a granddaughter. So,
Lester's the first ones, I guess, yeah. The Fred's oldest one was, no, it's
2 weeks.
1 month.
A couple weeks.
Exactly a month over. She is. He was born March the 30th, and she was born April the 30th, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
so when did you go out and get a job? I mean, what did you do for money?
Well, I worked at the Wisnitz Hosier Mill.
At the what?
Wisnitz Hosier Mill. Worked there for about 22 years.
Doing what?
Boarding socks. And getting up orders for the dye house. Working in the Gray's department. Handling yarn for the knitters. Picking up socks from the loopers and the inspectors.
So then what'd you do? Because you went to GE sometime.
Yeah, I quit there and went to GE.
Did you like that better?
Yeah, more money.
And then you never worked, did you?
Yeah, she worked, she done looping. And
Really?
she looped socks and then she kept children.
Yeah, that's a hard job. That's a real hard job. Okay, let me ask you this. What war did you grow up in? Didn't you grow up in
World
one?
War II.
What, was that the Depression? Oh.
Depression's in 29.
What? Did you grow up? Okay, you were just born right in that.
Yeah, I was born in the Depression.
Well, my professor will know I don't know my history then. Okay. Well, did you have to go to war?
I went, but I didn't stay with 2.5 months.
Why's that?
On account of my health.
Oh, so they sent you
I
back?
didn't go one eye.
Oh,
Didn't know that, did you?
no. What do you mean you just have one eye?
Just one eye. See,
We'll just tell you how that happened.
I got hit in the eye with a baseball in the 6th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one?
Yes.
And you can't see out of it? I didn't know that.
Got side vision is all.
Because you got hit in the eye with the softball.
Baseball.
Baseball. Did you play sports? Did you play baseball?
Yeah, I played baseball in grammar school.
Did y'all have like football and basketball and stuff like that?
Not in grammar school, they did in high school.
That's most of Cal Pastor.
Yeah.
Cow pasture.
No, we had ball down in school, yeah.
Ask him what it did to the teacher.
What'd you do to the teacher, Papa?
What did I do to the teacher? I supposed to tell a story. And Daddy told me a story to tell. And I got a whooping over it.
From who, the teacher?
Yeah.
What kind of story?
Jaybird sitting on a rail, picking the teeth of Fanny's tail. Mulberry leaves and calico sleeves. That old school teacher's hard to please.
What grade were you in?
Second, I think it was.
Oh my God. Was your daddy crazy like you are?
Huh?
Was your daddy kind of crazy like you are?
Well, he was not. He liked to pick on children.
Yeah, you do too. Well, let's see. What is that? Did you date anybody else before you married Nanny?
No.
You didn't date? Did people date back then?
Yeah.
What'd you do on dates?
We just went like to a show or
What kind of show?
next to show. Like in the theaters.
Movie?
Yeah, movies.
Y'all had movies?
Yeah.
Did they talk?
Sure did.
How did you get there? Did you walk?
Yeah, I walked some, but when I was dating, I had a car.
Oh. And your parents let you go? I mean, did you have a curfew?
No, I didn't have a curfew.
You didn't have a curfew?
I rode my bicycle a lot. And, sometimes when I go to see her, I'd walk through the woods after dark, about a mile.
And your parents didn't know about it?
Yeah, they knew
Oh.
it.
Okay. So things were a whole lot different back then.
You learned a lot.
Huh?
But I know,
You're learning a lot.
No curfews and go after dark.
I knew them woods just like the new palm of my hand. Because we was farmed all over our next to where she lived.
In the old house?
Yeah. We farmed that old, we was farming the bottoms next to, they was just right across the creek. From where we farmed.
So,
Over on Sweetwater Road.
so how did you discipline your children?
Well, if they misbehaved, I spanked them.
With your hand or switch?
Anything I can get my hands on.
Did they misbehave a lot?
That razor strop too.
Huh?
Use a razor strop.
A what? A razor what?
Razor strop.
Well, it was a piece of leather, thick leather, and you shot those straight lasers with it. That was called laser
Sure.
strap.
Oh my gosh, and you use that?
Sure did.
That would be
have to listen right fast.
I bet so. Okay, well let me ask you, are you still doing it? Okay. So now I can ask y'all some questions. Okay, so this class is actually like gerontology, the study of people aging. Something we all do from the day we're born. Um, so how long have y'all been married?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. And how old are you? Can I ask you?
I'm 70.
Okay, so y'all are the same age. Okay, and y'all been married 4 years. And this is a second marriage for both of you. Your second. Okay. How's a second marriage different than the first one? Because see, we're talking about this in class because a lot of people, since they're living longer, a lot of people get remarried, and after they retire, a lot of people are retiring earlier, and they're traveling and doing a lot more things than people used to ever do, and they get a lot more active, and they say the more active you are, the longer it helps you live. And like this has been a lot of studies done on people who stay real active.
Well, when your mate dies, that's part of it. Gone.
Yeah.
It's just like you've lost everything. And when you meet somebody who's lost their mate, well, you can talk to them and relay back and forth how it feels. But somebody that hasn't lost a mate, they can't relay how they feel.
How long were you and Nanny married?
Huh?
How long were you and Nanny married?
Like in 17 days, it's been 46 years.
How long were you married?
Well, see, my husband's been dead, about 32, I think he was, 32. He's been dead 17 years.
No, I wouldn't know what. I know that. That'd be hard. So, I mean, is the second marriage different though? I mean, I'm sure it's.
Well, we have, each one have a bunch of children, grandchildren, everything. Back, like when you married the first time, you wasn't no grandchildren or the children just gradually come along.
I know that's hard. I mean, you already got a ready-made life, kind of.
See, her children, one of them even know their grandpa.
Grandchildren.
They didn't have grandpa with them.
Really? That would be hard. Yeah.
Well, they call, most of them, sometimes call Carl grandpa. He's their grandpa.
Grandpa?
Only one they know.
That's Papa. Papa and Nanny, that's all I heard.
Well, they don't say Papa, they say grandpa.
So, I mean, like when you meet somebody and you start dating, I mean, did y'all like date?
Well, sure.
Sure.
Really?
We went to the movies and go out to eat.
Yeah.
Is it fun though, like when you meet somebody, like when I met Jerry, it was fun. I mean, is that different? Is it a little different kind of?
Well, I guess it is.
So Papa, how old were you when you retired?
62.
When you retired from GE? Did you retire voluntarily or?
Yes, I voluntarily retired.
Because you wanted to?
That's right.
Okay. Because a lot of people, especially now, are asked to retire.
No, my legs got too bad. I couldn't make it, so I told them I was going to retire.
Well, did you
Well,
work?
they shut the plant down, so I got laid off. I could have got me another job because I'm only 63, but I had saved and I just started getting Social Security. I was financially able to
Yeah.
not have to go back to work.
Well, that's really good. I mean, they're telling people now to start putting away as soon, like in their 20s, as soon as they get a job, if they want to retire, have the money to do anything.
Young people now, they're going to have to work 70 years old before they can draw their retirement.
Right.
I just kept it in and never did draw any out. It kept drawing interest. Back when interest was good, you know, build up, and if I had any extra money, I always added it to it.
Is it hard getting used to retirement though? I mean, is it hard not getting up and going to work every day?
I woke up the first morning after retired and thought about to work. I said, shoot. Just turned right over and went back to sleep.
So what do you do there all day? I mean, what do you do?
What we do now?
Yeah.
Well, I can find plenty to do at my house. But we get out and go over to Walmart or, you know, buy groceries and stuff like that.
Want to take a
Sit
trip to
around.
town?
Yeah, we went to Kannapolis yesterday.
Want to take a trip to town?
My
Just
church
get out there and go.
If we won't go by ourselves, we get in the car and go.
So where all have y'all been? Y'all been on camping trips up to New England?
Oh, we've been out. We went on that 24-day trip, and we've been on several trips.
Cause y'all went up north to. Did you go to Canada or New England?
Yeah. We went up to Chicago into Winnipeg, Canada,
Down
And
to
then-
Oregon.
and then went across Canada, Fort Providence in Canada, went back down into Montana, wasn't it? Went across to glaciers,
Down to Oregon and Colorado.
and then went back up into Canada. And they took us on a glacier that was 1,200 feet deep, ice. And we went on across into British Columbia, Vancouver. That's right on the Pacific coast.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That's where I got sick. We went, they took us that evening, wasn't it? They took us over to, what was that place? They got a clock up there that runs by,
Steam clock.
yeah, it runs by steam. That thing goes like a train whistle on it every 15 minutes. What they call that town?
That's where you got sick.
Yeah, I know it was, but
I don't know.
see, they have to take their tags off,
Tags.
Christian tour tag, because they don't want you nobody know you're a tourist.
Oh, really?
Because they said that was kind of a rough part of town. They took us on well, in Wisconsin, they took us on a boat ride up the river. To Delhi's, wasn't it? To Delhi. And we went up in places where they had these, where you buy souvenirs from it. It's not one place that river just about wide enough for the boat to go through.
What y'all want to do that?
Then we come back down to, when we got out to Vancouver, we come back down through Washington, and into Oregon.
All those states down to
Through the Badlands.
St. Louis, Missouri. Went up in the Arch. Took a boat ride there.
Took a ride on the Mississippi. Went through the Badlands, saw them there little, what they call them, the elks. And, at one time, the elks come into town there. They was right up there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. About 5, wasn't it, come in there?
Up north, Canada?
Yeah.
And, we saw a rodeo. So and one get throwed off a bull, wasn't it? And the bull horned him, and they had to take him into the ambulance.
Well, let me ask you this. What kind of health problems have you seen over the years? I mean, what kind of things change physically as you get older?
Well, you get to where you can't be active enough to do your work like you should. And for me, I got a pacemaker put in. And have arthritis in her hips where I do. I have had it in my shoulders. But you tell your troubles.
Well, I guess that asthma.
Yeah, he's got asthma.
That sets me on fire if I get around anything. Because all that drainage down my lungs, gives me a
And his legs are wore out. His knees is wore out.
just completely wore out.
Well, so is there anything that you haven't done in life that you want to do? Is there any, like, unfinished business? I mean, because they say that once you retire, and this is the book speaking, you know, once you get to retirement, then you start doing things you want to do, and you try to do all these things you never had the time or the money to do, and then it's like you feel this gap, and then it's like your life is complete. You know, you've done what you wanted to do. And some people get an opportunity to do that, and some people don't.
Well, we've traveled a lot. We've been to Raleigh, and Kentucky, and Florida. And
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio, and up there. And
Yeah,
the
Pennsylvania.
Amish country last
Yeah.
fall. And this fall here ago.
We used to go to
Oh, this fall, last fall, we went to range. We've been on a lot of places.
I drove to California,
Yeah, and you drove out to Texas.
Texas, and we went to, in 1929, I believe it was, we went on the train to California. And then about 1932, we went to Oklahoma. My uncle lived on an Indian reservation. That was the only white family on that reservation.
Was he Indian?
No.
No. Then why did he live on the Indian reservation?
Well, he just moved around. His people lived in Oklahoma. But he went from there to California, and then we went out there to see him.
Wasn't somebody in Nanny's family an Indian?
Yeah, it's her sister.
Oh, okay. Nanny's not an Indian?
No, well, it's Indians mixed in
Oh.
our generation.
Oh, okay.
It'd be mostly on daddy's side,
Your daddy's side? Or her daddy's side?
my daddy's side. Your grandma's side would be, great grandma, my mother, would be Germans and Dutch.
German Indians. Well, another reason I wanted to do this video is, you know, I want to always have this on tape, and I always want Taylor to be able to see it. You know, it'll be something that we can always keep. So, is there any advice you would ever want to give people who say my age or Taylor's? So if somebody come and ask you for advice, what kind of advice would you give?
Live the best you can. And read your Bible. So mostly like what the Bible says.
How many times have you read the Bible, Papa?
I read 5 and a half. I've got over to the New Testament 6 times. I mean, all the way through 5 times. That's when your grandma died. After she died.
What about you, Nene? Any advice?
I've never, only advised. Well, I hope Taylor always does what her mother and Nettie teaches her and tells her.
I'll have to play this over and over and over again for her.
And you all do the right thing and keep her in church. And
That's the main thing.
it's
church.
going to be hard for a child to grow up in this world, but it is now.
That's the trouble with the public schools now. They took the Bible out of public schools.
Exactly.
They won't discipline the children, and now that's one thing that they should do.
Yeah, they should be able to discipline them. They should have prayer in church. That's really all I have, unless y'all want to add anything else.
When I was going to school now, you either listened to the teacher or you went out and hunted your own hickory, and they give you a whooping.
I bet you had lunch your own hickory a few times, didn't you?
You might have right, I did.
I need to tell you about hanging the teacher out the window.
Go ahead, Papa.
I didn't hang her out. It's one of my classmates done it. He went in. She went in to get her lunch one day, and the teacher was trying to keep her out. And she picked the teacher up and had her head first out the window, and got her legs inside.
Why did she do it?
So she wanted to get her dinner so she could eat it.
Oh.
And the teacher didn't want her to come in.
That wasn't you, huh?
No, that wasn't me. But I had one teacher that was going to slap me, something I hadn't done. And I grabbed her arms, slammed her up against the blackboard, sat back down, she threw the book at me, tore it up.
God.
I got up and walked out of the room. I never did go back. I went to another teacher and told him about it. He said, well, I heard the whole thing. He says, I don't blame you. He said, you come into my class and take the rest of the year in my class.
That was nice.
And that teacher taught her too.
Miss Mooney?
Mr. Clark.
Oh, Mr. Clark. Oh, he's the one that let you come in? I know he wouldn't be the one to throw a book at you.
Did you go to St. Stephen's? Was it St. Stephen's up here when you went to? You
There's
mean I
one-
went to the same school you did?
And one teacher taught Carolyn. One teacher taught me, he taught Carolyn, Phyllis, and Ruth. Did he teach Becky?
Mr. Clark?
Yeah.
Kind of seems like he was there when Becky was. Not sure.
Must have been a good teacher.
He was a good teacher.
Everybody loved him.
Really?
Because I told them when they started, and I found out Clark was a teacher. I said, you got a good teacher.
Well, I remember even when I went to this school up here, that they were still washing people's mouth out with soap if you said a bad word. You had to go to the water fountain and you got your mouth washed out with soap. And they do it too. I mean, I never said no bad word, but I know people who did, and they make them wash their mouth out with soap in front of everybody out there.
Do we still do that?
I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
Now, she wanted to touch a child. That's the trouble.
But when I went to school, I don't think they spanked, but they did want make you wash your mouth out with soap if you said a bad word. Well, goodbye. And all I'm doing is I'm doing like an oral history on you, and I did one on my grandfather. So I'm just going to kind of ask you about the same questions I asked him, and they're just real easy.
You want, the date I was born and everything?
Yeah.
Well, Iowa Andrews Green.
See, and I'm getting it all on tape. So this way we have it forever and ever, too.
I was born August the 14th, 1915.
How old does that make you? 80.
79 in August.
Where were you born, Granny?
I was born in Gifford County.
Were you born at home?
Yeah.
Who was your mother and father?
Roxley and Wesley Andrews.
Roxy and Wesley?
Andrews.
You have any brothers and sisters?
I had one brother, 4 sisters.
And what kind of occupation did your parents do?
Farm.
They farmed? Are you the youngest or the oldest or somewhere in the middle?
I'm the oldest daughter.
You're the oldest daughter. Are they all still living?
My brother's dead, and I have one sister that's dead. And my mother and father's dead.
What was it like when you were born? I mean, what was your childhood like?
Well, we was kind of poor. Daddy was trying to pay for his farm. It was back in Hoover's time when he bought the farm. And I don't know how to start this. I got no paper.
That's okay. Well, let me ask you this. How old were you when the Depression came in?
I was about 8 years old.
So do you remember it?
Yeah.
Was that real hard?
What? Yeah, we had to, we didn't have a radio or television. Didn't have electric lights. We had to use a wood stove and a lamp fire in the fireplace. So, and I never had a boat toy when I was growing up.
Somebody make one for you?
No, all we had was we'd make paper dolls and play with them, and we'd go outside and make us a playhouse and play in the playhouse. So
That's what my grandfather, he said every time he said they didn't really, since they didn't have TV or anything, they always played outside, and they always, played kickball, or, they made up their own games, and that's all they did was play outside, because there wasn't anything else to do when they went farming.
well, we didn't have any balls and things like that to play with. You've heard talk of Tommy walkers.
No.
You go out in the woods and cut a tree down, it's a fork, and you about that high off the ground. And we'd stand up on them and walk around on the Tommy walkers. So people don't do that anymore, though.
No. It'd be good if they did, though, wouldn't it?
And we had to carry water from a spring 5 years, and that was about 2 miles, going and coming, a mile down and a mile back. 5 years, and then Daddy got his well dug. Then I had to draw all the horses' water, cattle,
Oh, no.
all the cattle, animals, and we raised all of our vegetables, except sugar and coffee. And we hardly ever bought anything. And I picked blackberries to buy my clothes to go to school, and sold them in the summertime. Our mailman said that he would buy every berry that I picked. And some days I'd have 5 gallons, sometimes 3 or 4. I'd buy the cloth material and then have the dresses made. I see it rough when I was growing up.
Huh?
I see it rough when I was growing up.
Oh, yeah.
But we were happy. I was raised up in a Christian home. We went to church every Sunday. And we enjoyed reading and studying the Word of God.
So he saw a lot of changes happening, too. Do you remember when y'all got a telephone and everything?
We never did have a telephone.
Oh, really? y'all went to school and everything, right?
Yeah, I went to school. We had to walk to school. Went to Marietta School. And we had to walk, it was about 2 miles to school. We had to walk rain, sleet, or snow. And when we got to school, the boys had to go out in the woods and get wood and make a fire in the wood stove. It was just a 2-room schoolhouse. And we didn't have no running water. We had an outside bathroom. And the boys would have to carry water to fill up the cooler for the children to drink. So we had a good time though. A group of us would walk to school together, neighbors. And
Times sure are a whole lot different, aren't they?
I'm telling you, they're really different.
Well, how far did you get in school? I mean, did they have like the 12th grade or?
I didn't get no higher than 8th.
So then what'd you do when you finished the 8th grade?
I didn't go to school no more. I went to work.
Where'd you work?
Blue Bell.
I didn't know that. What, it's Wrangler now?
It was down
Downtown.
yeah.
Right. What'd you do at Blue Bell?
Well, I settled on back pockets. And after I had my children, I went back to work. And they put me supervisor. Checking the work that other people done. And if they do anything bad, see, I'd have to correct it.
So, when did you get married and then have kids? How old were you when you got married?
I was 17.
17? And you married who?
Harry Green.
Harry Green. How old was he?
He was 17.
Wow. So, what did he do?
Well, he farmed too.
So then, how long was it till you had kids?
2 years.
Well, that's good. So then you went back to work after you had kids?
Yeah, I went back to work, and my mother kept Bobby Burley. And then after I had Dean, I stayed home a while. And after Peg and Judy was born, I went back to work. They told me I could come back anytime I wanted to. I was doing hay. And I came home one day. We had to ride the bus. Sometimes days we'd get off early, and I would ride the bus home. I came home one day about middle of the afternoon. We got off early, and Peg and Judy wasn't here. So I said, that's it. I had hung them up. They were next to a pond down on Gertrude Fawcett's place.
Oh, no.
So I said, I'm not going to work no more. And Harry said, if you go back to work, we'll be on starvation. I had to work to pay for the hands after Bobby was born. And Harry said we'd lost everything we had if I wasn't working.
That's real important.
I'd get 4 o'clock in the morning, cook breakfast for the hands, and fix a little something for their lunch. And I'd come in at night and cook supper for all of them. I don't know how in the world I done it.
I don't either, Granny. Well, where did you meet your Harry at?
I met him at the store.
At the store?
I thought he was the ugliest man I ever seen.
Wow.
I didn't think about me ever going with him. And I was sure that was one Sunday. Lucille herself was at the store when we met him. And next Sunday, he was dressed up like a preacher when he come up to the house. He didn't look like the same man. And he never missed a Sunday after that.
Oh, really? You must have made an impression on him.
And my daddy really liked him. When we went off, we had to be back for dark. When we was dating. We weren't allowed to be out after dark. Harry carried me over to some of his people's one Sunday. And it was raining. Back then the roads were muddy. Didn't have hard roads. And we slid off and got in the ditch. I said, oh no. I said, my dad's gonna get me when I get home. And we sat there and we didn't know what was gonna do. It wasn't nothing but mud. And the preacher came along. He went and got somebody to help get us out. We got home, it was dark. And I said, Harry, I said, I'm gonna get him when I get home. He said, I'll talk to Mr. Andrews. So we got back home, he went in and said, Mr. Andrews, I'm sorry that we were late, but we got the ditch. And Daddy said, well, that's all right. Y'all come on out and have some supper.
Well, that was good. He must have liked
He
me.
came to the living room, made us a fire in the fireplace.
So how long did y'all date before you got married?
Oh, around a year, something like that.
Wow. So did you date anybody else, or did you just date him?
He's really the only one I ever really dated. Several women go me. He didn't give a chance, really.
So did he like propose to you, ask you to marry him and everything?
Yeah, and the day we were supposed to get married, Daddy went with me to have me buy me a dress. Got me a beautiful blue dress. And the day that he was to come, we was to get married, I heard Mother say, yonder he comes. And I said, I don't know where I want to get married or not. And Mama said, she called me Odie. Why, Odie? I said, I don't know. When he come in the house, I told him I wasn't sure. He says, what you doing all dressed up? I said, I just wasn't sure where I want to get married or not. But we had a good life together.
Did you? How long were you married?
Oh, when the parents didn't live now, we'd been in our 60th anniversary.
Wow. How long ago did he die?
He died in 72.
What, from a heart attack?
He had heart failure.
Heart failure. So where did you live when you got married?
We lived on Gibsonville Route where Daddy bought that farm. You mean after we got married?
Yeah, after you got married.
Well, Harry was staying with his aunt and uncle down on the Benaja Road. And when he asked me to marry him, I said, Harry, I can't come. He says, you'll never have to come. And we stayed with his aunt, Lenny Crisp, and Uncle Neat Crisp, until we moved up here.
So what happened after he passed away? I mean, did you keep on working, or?
No, I didn't work anymore as long after we passed away. Harry.
No, I mean after he passed away, did you stay?
I didn't work anymore after he passed away.
You just stayed home and kept the kids?
Yeah.
Well, did he have to serve in the war? World War II?
He had to be checked for the Army, but he didn't pass.
Oh, he did? So I don't guess you had to go, did you?
No.
Well, what kind of discipline did you use on your children?
Well, we didn't ever have to whip our children. My daddy just spoke one time, and we know to mind. You talking about my children?
Your children.
Oh, with my children, I don't ever remember my children talking back to me. You know, children this day and time do.
Yeah.
And Bobby and Dean, whenever they want anything, they'd always come to me and want me to talk to Daddy about it. I said, well, I'll ask him. And so I did. And I says, now, Bobby, you always tell the truth. I says, I don't care how bad it is. If it hurts, tell the truth. And so, after his wife left him, after he got married, his wife left him. I guess he couldn't take no more up at Green's Supper Club. He'd had a little too much to drink. He run in the back of David's car. And they had to call the sheriff. And the sheriff came and locked him up. So, after Harry got him to work that night, Bobby called the jail. He said, well, Daddy, I'm in jail. And he said, I want to talk to Mama. So I said, okay, I'll talk to him. He said, Mom, you always told me to tell the truth. He said, I told the police the truth. I told them I had about 7 or 8. I I couldn't say anything because I've always teached him to tell the truth.
Yeah.
Harry went up there and got him out. That's the only trouble he's ever given us.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Well, did you ever think you'd get remarried after Harry died?
No. I don't want to get married anymore.
Did you ever date?
Yeah, I dated.
You didn't want to get remarried?
Lord, there it is. He calls me now. Told me to think about it. I told him I didn't think I'd ever be able to marry anymore.
Why's that?
Well, I had a good husband the first time, and I might not get such a good one next time.
So you just don't want to take no chances? Huh?
Uh,
So, do you like consider yourself? I mean, when did you like consider yourself retired?
Retired.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm retired now. 78.
Well, yeah, but like some people like when they work for a long time and then they finally get to retire.
Well, I'm not able to do as much as I used to do. I'd love to get in the yard and work in the flowers and have a garden, but I can't do that now.
Yeah, because a lot of people once they get older, they say the more active you stay, the longer you live, and the better thing your life is, and and you stayed real active. You travel a lot.
Well, yes, but I don't know what happened to me here lately. If I'm back on the floor, I can't hardly get around the next day.
Well, Granny, sometimes when I vacuum my floor, I can't hardly get around.
And the children won't plow me up a garden. They tell me I don't have no business planting a garden. They should get after that garden, they have a stroke. I had one light stroke. And they don't want me out in the garden no more. It's thinking my legs. I think that's what's wrong with my legs. That stroke I had.
When was that?
Oh, that was, that's been 10 years ago. And I've started going backwards ever since.
But you still get up and, cook and everything.
Yeah, I can do around in the house, but I'm no good outside.
Well, that's okay. So tell me about some of the places you've been. You've been all kinds of places.
Oh, I've been, well, I told my son I didn't feel like I was able to go. He says, "Oh, come on, Mother. It'll help you get well." So he bought my clothes. All the clothes. And we went to North America, South America, into Russia, Germany, England. We've been to a lot of places.
Yeah.
And now they want me to go on another cruise with them, but I told them I didn't believe I wanted to take another cruise.
Where are they going now?
They was talking about going to Mexico.
Oh, that'd be nice. Well, what's some of the changes you've noticed, like in your life, probably in the last, since you've been about 60? What's some of the things that have changed?
I can tell I'm going backwards.
Health-wise?
Health-wise, yeah. I tell you, I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and work all day, and sometimes it'd be about midnight before I get to bed that night. But I couldn't do that now.
See, Granny, you do so good. I mean, a lot of people your age can't do what you do.
Well, I guess I ought to be thankful.
I think it's because you get up
Thankful
and,
and wait on myself.
yeah, because you get up and you take care of yourself, and I think that's wonderful. Well, if you had to leave some advice, because one day Taylor's going to see this video, and and I want her to watch it, and I want her to be able, to see my grandfather and Jerry's grandmother on tape, and get to hear like it, because when she comes around, growing up, things are a whole lot different. There's electricity, and you don't have to walk to school, and she has toys. She won't realize how good she has it, and so when she watches this one day, she's gonna realize, you know, what it was like. And if you had just one word or some words to say to her one day for her to hear, what would it be?
Honor your father and mother.
Thank you.
That's the main thing, is to honor your father and mother. And I believe in bringing a child up in the way he or she should go. And when he gets old, he won't depart from it.
Yeah. That's kind of what my grandfather, he said, if you don't raise a child in the church, you can't really raise the child without it.
I know, and I told Lynn she needs to start coming to church.
Yeah.
And at night, we would have a big fire in the fireplace. And we'd sit around and pop popcorn. We didn't have candy and all that stuff, drinks. But we had peanuts. We raised all that. And we raised our cane to make molasses out of it. Daddy'd make about 200-gallon molasses. But he never sold any of it. He'd give them away.
Wow, that was nice.
Give them away. Well, I appreciate the way I was raised up. I wouldn't take nothing for it.
That's
We
good.
was all happy. My cousins lived right down below us, and they'd come up and play with us. You know, we wasn't working, and we'd go down and play with them. So we really enjoyed life.
Family was a whole lot closer back then, weren't
Uh-huh.
they? Than they are now. They don't split up and stuff like they do.
Well, I never heard my mother's father fuss. I never heard him argue. Only thing I've ever heard Mama say, my daddy get kind of rowdy sometimes. And Mom would say, "Why, Wes, that's all she ever did say. Never raised her voice."
Well, Granny, do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, I think I've said too much already.
No, you haven't.
Oh, I lived it rough when I was growing up.
You sure did, but you have it, you know, good now. You got 4 good kids, a lot of grandkids.
Yeah, I got sweet little grandchildren.
Yeah.
But she took up with Peggy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get Taylor. You stop it.
Oh, you jerk.
Hey, Hannah.
This is my little grandchild. Sweet
Yeah.
little grandchild.
Let's come over here, because Taylor likes this little dog. What is this, Taylor? This is one.
Can you? I don't want you to fall.
This is one smaller than you. This is Grandma's dog.
You love Taylor.
Oh,
She loves children.
you gonna love on her? Oh, thank you. You jealous? Huh? She's okay, Granny. She's used to falling. She skinned up her knees the other day.
She can walk around that table.
Yeah.
Taylor.
Film and let me walk.
Huh? Come here. She'll come up here to see you.
Hey, Gingy. I call you Gingy anyway. Hannah.
Oh, you want me to say hi, Hannah?
Oh, we're gonna bump your head.
You're gonna make Grandma have a heart attack, Taylor.
I just over hit her head on that.
Granny, you know how many times she's hit her head? And scun her face up and scun her knees up.
Easy, doggy.
She's giving a lot of sugars.
I told Nina I hate to see that tape.
Huh?
I told Nina I hate to see that when he played.
Dean.
I mean,
Jerry.
Jerry.
Oh, okay.
I told him I wrote 3 pages out. I thought I had to read it all.
Oh, no.
Told her she could still read off if she wanted
Yeah,
to.
if you want to, you can. But it's just something real simple, you know, it's real informal. And
Well, it's the truth, all that I've told.
show her how fast you can run.
Nobody can read my writing more than
Where's she got?
Andrews Green. I was born August 14, 1915. I was raised in a Christian home. We went to church every Sunday. I'm out of breath. We were very poor. Daddy was trying to pay for his farm, but we were happy. We didn't have a TV or radio. We enjoyed reading and studying the Word of God. We had to carry water 2 miles to use for 5 years. Then Daddy dug us a well. I had to draw all of the water for our animals. We raised all of our food in the garden except coffee and sugar. I never had a bought toy. We would bake paper dolls and play outside in our playhouse. If we didn't have work to do, Mother would do the cooking, and I would wash the dishes and clean up the kitchen. We washed our clothes on a washboard. I didn't put that on there, did I?
No.
We washed our clothes on a washboard. Then we would put them in a big black pot and boil them outside. I had to pick blackberries in the summertime and sell them to buy cloth for my clothes. The mailman bought every berry I could pick. Back then we had large berries. I would have 5 gallons sometimes, 3 or 4 gallons most every day. Our mailman said he would take all I could pick. Parties, I didn't go to parties. We went to bed early and got up early. I am 78 years old and remember I was brought up in Hoover's time. That wasn't on there either, I don't think. I was the oldest girl. I had 4 sisters and 1 brother. We never had candy but once a year, and that was Christmas time. We all would put our shoe boxes out on Christmas Eve. Sandy would fill it with candy, nuts, and fruit. That's all we got for Christmas. We didn't get any toys. We raised our own popcorn. We would sit around the fire at night and popcorn and roast peanuts. We didn't have lights. We used a lamp. We had a fire in the wood fireplace, cooked on a wood stove. We had to heat our water to take a bath in a big tub. We walked to school, rain, sleet, or snow. We had to walk 2 miles one way. We went to Mary Oak School. After we got to school, the boys had to build a fire in the stove. We didn't have lights or water in school. We just had 2 large rooms. We had a water cooler. The boys would fill the cooler every day for our drinking water. We had an outside bathroom
At school?
at school. And I read 2 pages of one.
You read all 3 of them.
And what if you was raised up like